I will call out two people. What's his name? Turboware, whatever the hell his name is. And Chindog 21. Apparently, they were the quote unquote generators of OBS is homophobic, and I ain't gonna call them out too much because I really don't want to give them too much shit. But the fact of the matter is that they went to Twitch. It was not Keats that had gone to Twitch to complain, and I seen the texts that went back and forth. People sent it to me, of course. But I'm not holding a grudge on them. But if you watch a couple of the episodes, maybe you'll see what the show's actually about. Fucking Rio. But we're not homophobic. Like I said, I don't want people. Oh yeah, well that's the other thing. The fact that so many people have wished me cancer or that I am cancer to the community. I'm not going to harp on that Penny Arcade article hatchet job where, here's a guy who's actually put my phone number out there publicly numerous times, and you're going to tell me you weren't able to get me to respond? And you know what? OBS is about peace, love, and calling fools out. Exact single malt. It's step your game up, stop your bitching and crying about stuff in games. People need to realize once and for all that the game development community / business does not let me get single malt. Where are you? I gotta mod you. The business side of it does not cater to the gaming community as far as the tournament scene. The fact that companies like NRS or Namco or Capcom even listen to us, we should feel honored. We should really feel honored for the fact that they'll actually take the time to listen. Now I know Hector had gotten a ton of shit yesterday for the whole Scorpion and tournament viable and all that. But it's sad that he had to hear so much shit. It had to have been frustrating. Here's a guy trying to make a game and he puts in a character like Scorpion, and lo and behold, everybody's pissing and moaning about it. We'll talk more about Scorpion and being banned and all the other stuff a little bit later. Right now, I want to reach out to my boy Phil and add him into the call. And where are you? You're feeding back, Phil. And there's the birds. The birds.
You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, no, the feedback was just because you called me and I picked up before I muted my computer.
Alright, well, either way, let's see, did he pick up? No, he didn't pick up. Let's put these two up here.
What's up, man?
What's up there, Mr. Bass? MrIGotBass, my first guest on the On Blast show a year later, 52 weeks later, and you're still fucking, still doing your thing. But you're doing it in a productive way.
I'm alive, man. Everything's good, man. A year later, been around, man.
What's going on, Bass? Good to see you on here.
Hey, what's up, Phil? How have you been, man?
Busy time at my job. June is the busy season for awards, and it's just I've been working like 13 to 15-hour days.
I feel you, man. That's what happens when you get older, right?
Yeah, you're not kidding.
I feel you, man.
Alright, so this is what I want to do. For starters, I want to turn the floor over to Phil. I'm going to tell Phil this is VSM right now. So, I know you want to talk about a couple of things, but I do know you want to talk about the charity stream. I mean, again, another success, another year. So I am giving you the floor to talk away, man.
I appreciate it, Jimmy. All right. Well, this is the third charity stream in 2 years, and I think now we have. Let me do a little quick math. We did 1,700 in the first one, 1,200 in the second one, and now like 1,450 in the third. So in 3 charity streams in approximately 18 months, we've raised about $4,400 for charity, which is pretty darn good, I think, especially considering that as an FGC, outside of what was the Evo Run charity, I don't see a lot of stuff like this, and I'm proud to be part of helping facilitate that and whatnot. It's not me really. I just turn on my stream and tell people, hey, let's all get together and do this. And I'm happy to announce, actually, because part of the reason I want to be here tonight is because, Base, I had to be here to personally thank you, because you have been either the top donor or right there with the top donor in every single charity stream. You've supported them from the very beginning with absolutely no there were no strings attached in any of your donations. You the first time you asked if you guys could come on and play, and I gladly had you guys on, and you have made you entertained a lot of people with you guys in Rio playing UMK3. Everybody liked seeing that, and I was happy to see it, and was actually hoping that we could do it again at the second one and again over the weekend. But what nobody knows is that in the text, what nobody knows is that when you sent that money, Jimmy showed me the text where I asked him, would you like to come on and play? And what nobody knows is you said, nah, I don't need to come on and play. Just tell Phil to give some guys who don't have the money the opportunity to come on and play a couple of free games. So from my point of view, I'm the first person to be, I spent a year looking in the mirror. And I know what it's like to take an opportunity to try and change myself, and I've hopefully tried to do that because a lot has changed for me in the course of the last year.
That's right, Slim.
Yeah, 80-something pounds of change, but yeah.
It does take a lot of work, though. I agree.
I mean, I've enjoyed it so far, and I'm still like 20-something pounds away from my goal, but it's more than just that, actually. And wow, somebody's really typing loudly.
Hey, Carlos.
Yes, sir.
I hear you typing a million miles a second.
I'm on mute then. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I just wanted to say thank you. You have supported all the charity streams. You haven't asked for anything in return, or there were no strings attached. Even when you knew that that odds of you being unbanned from like Test Your Might or other websites were pretty slim, you followed through anyway, and that's really noble. And I honestly, I know you made an effort, and I notice it, and I see it, and I appreciate it. And honestly, me to you, I hope you do come back to a tournament one day so that I can stand there and shake your hand and say thank you in person.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I don't know, man. Getting a little bit old here, brother. You know what I'm saying? So it's
we all are.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
But for a while, I was almost afraid to lose. And I've gotten rid of that, and that's actually part of what happened. Like, Jimmy's show was a catalyst for me a year ago, and it was a catalyst for change for me, actually. I was so angry over something, and I it took being that angry and being on the phone and actually screaming at him in the middle of the street in front of my house. And Jimmy will tell you, did I not scream at you in the middle of the street in front of my house?
Yeah, you did.
No worry, you got into it with me also.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. I screamed at you from the middle of my job. I closed and locked the door during my lunch break, and I screamed at George over the phone. And I stopped, and I took a step back, and then it dawned on me that every day I was waking up saying, all right, I gotta go, and I gotta go pick up this game, and I got to go pick up these systems, these monitors ready, and go do this and and never once in there, and this is when it hit me, is never once in that list of things that I was prepping to do for my day did I say to myself, I got to come home and say hi to my wife in person. And I'm like, crap, something's wrong here. And it just dawned on me, some things are just not worth it. Being in an argument and losing friends of mine, who I look at as good friends of mine, was not worth losing them over a stupid video game. Over a stupid video game. It just wasn't worth it. And so it just facilitated a lot of change in me in terms of recognizing that games are exactly what they are. They're an addendum to our lives. And I know there's drama about this whole Scorpion thing and who's better at Injustice and is Injustice a good game or not and this and that. But guys, it's a game. And these people that you're going to go and see, and that you're going to go and see at these tournaments and play against in these tournaments, remember, you're going to see them in person. The things that you've said to these people over the internet, they have the opportunity to hold you accountable for in person. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. So just learn it's a stupid game. Play it as hard as you can. Compete as hard as you can. Give it everything you can. But just remember that we're all still here fighting for the same thing. To see the NRS community be better. And it's not going to be better if we just keep arguing. It's just not worth potentially losing friends and people we care about over a stupid video game. And ultimately, that's what this all comes back to, is that, that I realized it was a stupid video game. I realized that I needed to put myself and the way I felt about, was I a high-level UMK3 player, or was I going to get babied if I played, or, and you know what? It never really mattered. It never.
You know what I mean? You're pretty good at the shit.
I think I was okay at it, yeah. I mean, I had a good time playing it, and for a while I was placing in the top 4 in just about every tournament I played in, and then all of a sudden I got afraid to lose, and I just stopped playing.
I think everybody got, I don't know, man. I think it seemed to me like after 2010, man, it was like everybody stopped caring about the shit, and I don't know, man. It's I think the game changed, obviously a little bit in 2010. And I think that if people would have stuck with it and continued to play the game, people would have still had fun. I mean, honestly, it is a 20-year-old game. However, just because something's old doesn't mean that the shit is not official. You know what I mean? UMK3, and I mean even Rio will tell you. I mean, that's a fucking hard game. I mean, you gotta.
Listen,
it's a fast game. It's still a good game.
I still play Super Turbo. So if anybody asks me what some of my favorite games are, I can go back and I'll be like UMK3, MK2, Super Turbo, and Champion Edition. I mean, nowhere in there were any of the newer school games. We're talking really old school games that are some of my favorite fighting games. So you're right. If you enjoy playing the game, then just play it and don't be afraid to lose. And I ultimately have gotten
there to have fun. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be the best at something. If you enjoy doing something and you legitimately enjoy doing it, however good you do or however bad you do, if you enjoy having fun and you enjoy it, fuck it, just do the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how I feel right now. I don't play a lot of games anymore because I don't really have the time, but when I do play, I got to make the most of it. And ultimately, I mean, honestly, it's gotten down to the point where I probably play 20 minutes of games a week. It's really that bad right now. But ultimately, when I do play, I have to play something that I enjoy playing. And recently, I've gone back to playing Super Turbo and a little bit of Ultimate and stuff like that. But honestly, really, what I wanted to say here is I want you to know that as far as I'm concerned, it's over. It never needed to be, and it's over, and it's done with. And I'm cool. I've moved on, and I did move on even before my first charity stream. It took me some time, and I was mad at Jimmy, and I was mad at you, but it's gone. It's done. It's over. And that's because I realized that ultimately, on your end, I realized that you were just having fun. and I had stopped.
I mean, like that's you know, I got to take at least some of the blame for it. I mean, you know, a man of a certain age probably shouldn't be doing some of the shit that was done. But you know, when people get too overly competitive about something and give too much of a fuck about a game, retarded shit happens. You know what I'm saying? And it just I'll take as much blame as whatever. So it's not. But you know, I mean, that's. I now realize that like the greatest thing lost over, you know, all this bullshit is the fact that like fucking nobody plays the game anymore. People quit the shit, got all mad. I mean, it sucks to not be able to find like, you know, people who want to play it. But I mean, you remember a couple years ago how many people played Ultimate? You could find a ton of people. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's not that big of a deal. Shit is over with, and I don't know, man. I'm definitely glad to support you.
No, I appreciate that. I mean, I first of all, I mean, are you okay with me letting everybody know how much you donated? I think I may have said it.
I mean, you really want to, but I mean, it's not that, you know. I don't need you to do that, or
well, no,
I don't really, you know, I don't care.
It's not about that. I think that's important that everybody know that, you know, if anybody was doubting, you know, if anyone was doubting that you have made an honest and concerted effort to change, you know, we raised almost $1,500 and you donated a third of that. You know what I mean? And you asked for nothing other than to give other people an opportunity to play on stream.
No problem, man.
It doesn't get much more altruistic than that.
No. But yeah, it's all good.
So what I will say is, you've still got my gamer tag. You still know who I am on Xbox Live. If I'm on and I got time and you want to play some UMK3, you can baby the crap out of me for all.
Well, here's the thing. I actually gave away my Xbox because I'm just like, I can't deal with the bullshit that comes along with Xbox, just like being able to send messages. But what do you call it? If you want to sometime, man, why don't you add me on Skype? It's IGotBass. And if you want to, I'll send you over the package, like with the perfect like setup for MAME 119. And if you want to play peer to peer or something like that,
I've got all the 119 stuff too. Actually,
got all the yeah. I mean, what do you call it? Like,
you using the Juggernaut hack?
Yeah, it's actually, to be honest with you, like the peer to peer on 119. If you don't play really it like good. Full screen, yeah, it's really really.
Yeah, I know. You gotta set your ping to LAN, and it's usually really good.
And you're in New York and I'm in Pittsburgh, so like the pings are only like 20 or 30. I mean, it doesn't matter if you know, I'm not gonna pick a ball and like destroy you like that.
Well, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I just
play sometimes, man. That would be cool. That'd be awesome.
So yeah, I'm down for that. I have no problem with that, and it just doesn't matter to me. It's just about playing and enjoying the game again.
I agree.
So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it's been done for a long time, and it makes me happy to be able to come on here and tell you, it's not face-to-face, but it's as close as can be, that it's over. I'm glad it's over. I'm sorry it ever went in all the directions it ever went in. And I appreciate all your support so far. It's kind of been like full circle, because the person that I was maddest at for a long time turns out to be my biggest monetary supporter on the charity streams.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, in the end of the day, like, you know, like a year ago, it like looked really bad. You were like really upset, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. I felt really fucking bad about that shit. But you know, and fast forward a year now, man. Look at yourself, man. You look fucking really good, dude. I seen pictures and shit of you, or whatever, at the tournament, brother. I mean, you lost a Phil and shit, man. You look really good, dude.
I lost a 12-year-old.
It's fucking crazy, man. But I mean, look, a year later, you're doing really good, man, and things turned out good. So that's definitely a happy ending.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And like, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, and in all sincerity, thank you for your support. Really, it really means a lot.
No problem, man.
So, as odd as it sounds, I really can't stick around for too much longer, because I have to go to bed, because I have to be back at work at 8 in the morning for another 12 hours.
I hear that, man.
So, Jimmy, unless you got anything else for me or want me to talk about anything else, I just will say this. I think this is the last Thursday that VSM will not be in session via stream. And that's just simply because it is the final Thursday in June, and June is the crazy season for me. So, and I already know I have a 15 acrylic job due that day, so I know I'm going to be at work at 8 in the morning and probably not walking out until 10 at night.
Hey Phil, is there still any chance I'm trying to get the VSM guys to invade next level?
I really would like to do that. What I'd like to do, what I would like to do is take an opportunity 1 week, and instead of having VSM, take everybody and bring them on all over to next level. And you know, just get.
If they were to see like 30, 40 guys come in there for Injustice, because they're already getting about 20 every week, and then add on like another 20 guys on top of that, you know, that'll show some impressive numbers and show the game's still going strong, you know, especially on Spooky Stream.
Yeah, well, I mean, the other good part about it is that, you know, we have, obviously now it's two kind of separate communities in the New York, New Jersey area between the Next Level guys and VSM guys, and both are fairly good pockets of players. It would be nice to see them play together for a while as well.
I see Paco asking now that Phil and the dudes from the first episode made up if New York City's still free at UMK3. Damn. I don't know.
I mean, somebody needs to bring the game back, man. It needs to get more respect at the tournament. Phil, you got to hype that shit up a little bit, man. Do a little bit better job with that.
Listen, I've
got that dude coming from Russia, man. I don't know, man. That's a long way to come. You gotta.
Oh yeah, well that's why we made sure to get him on there for hours when that came to it. We kind of tried to get him like a UMK3 gauntlet with pretty much everybody who was good at the game in that room to get on.
Somebody would fly from Russia for that too. That's crazy.
That is. You know what? I actually he gave me a bottle opener. I guess he sees me drinking on streams all the time. From Russia. It was a Russian bottle opener, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny because he had to go play a match of Third Strike, and he didn't have a gamepad to play with, and so I felt bad. So I let him borrow my Street Fighter Cross Tekken 360 pad, and he was like, "Oh, Phil, can I buy this from you because we don't have anything like this in Russia, and it would take so long, and it would be like it would be at $100." For shipping just to get it there if I ordered on Amazon. I'm like, dude, it's going to cost me $20 to replace it. Take it. It's from me. Enjoy it. You know, I'd rather see people playing their games. You know what I mean? So that didn't matter that much to me. But anyway, I think we're going to be back with VSM next week. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. I will say this. I think we are planning something kind of special to start happening on a once-a-month basis at VSM. And Jimmy, I think you'll be happy to hear this. And Natus, I know you are. And Base, I know you're going to like this, even though you're not close enough to come. But you'll be happy to know this. Once a month, I think we're planning on doing an old-school arcade night. Setting up, basically, if it wasn't in the arcade, it's not getting played.
Okay.
You know, setting up things like Super Turbo and Killer Instinct and MK2, UMK3. I mean, obviously, if guys want to play Injustice off on the side and MK9 off on the side, of course we'll let them play that because they're not going to come down and pay to come into the venue and not play the games they want to play. But we have this idea where we want to do a once a month old school night where we get, you know, some of the older players together to play some games and, you know, maybe if it has to be an additional stream once every month, if we do 5 streams a month or 3 streams a month with Injustice and MK9 and 1 with older school stuff, we're planning on doing something like that. I know the KOF guys want to get some of the older KOFs in there and Garo and all that, and I know I'd like to have more Killer Instinct, and especially now with the new KI coming out, I want to get some more KI and KI2 on stream and do some UMK3 and MK2 matches as well. People have been asking about MK4 and MK Trilogy. Every time I talk to Rio, he's like, dude, we got to get MK Trilogy up on there.
Yeah, I actually got a 64 sitting here right now.
That's so funny. I just ordered a copy of Trilogy for the 64. The only problem I have is I can't play on that pad.
Paulo should be able to send out a bunch of them that he's probably using his bookends at his cubicle or something.
Paulo, well, you know, if you want to send me a copy of Trilogy, or even better, if you want to send me a custom N64 arcade stick, I'm in. Sold. No, that's the only thing is I need I need to have an arcade stick made for the 64 to be able to play Trilogy on it.
Do they make them?
They do not. I'd have to have it custom made. I've got a couple of arcade boxes, you know, some arcade stick boxes laying around, and I have a couple of extra PDP sticks. So I may have one of the PDP sticks modded or dual modded to have an N64 wire come out.
Well, now, I don't know. Is there anything Mr. Bass wants to add? Because I know, you know, you're never without 100% controversy free.
Dude, believe it or not, I'm actually pretty trauma free right now. I'm cool with it. Like, here's the thing, man. I don't know. I just the amount of drama that was produced because of that game. It's just I'm good with that shit now. I'm too old for that shit, man. Fuck, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't need no bullshit, man. Fucking, it's all good, man. I don't know. I just I wish there was more people to play, to have fun. I do enjoy the game. It's such a good game. It really is. I don't know, man. I don't really have anything else to say. Hey, Phil, I do have something else to say. One thing that I remember, man, when I came to that tournament, I don't know if you remember this shit or not. You remember when I like came into that room and you're like, I had like a pop with me and you're like, Bass. I didn't take you for a diet soda type of guy.
Well, I do remember it. What I actually said to you.
Like, thanks, Phil. You know
What I actually said for you was, what I said to you was that I didn't take you for a Diet Pepsi kind of guy because you were drinking a Diet Pepsi, and I figured you more for a Diet Coke.
Oh shit! And like my cousin just was like laughing, like telling me and shit, like, "Oh, what are you calling me, fat man?" Nah, it's cool, man. It's all good. I thought that was fucking hilarious. I'm not gonna lie.
Because the short little fat guy looking at you, saying you don't look like all right.
Nah, I got you. I thought it was funny.
I didn't look like the diet soda kind of guy, but there I was sucking down diet sodas like they were going out of business.
Unbelievable, man. But yeah, that was really fucking funny. But
yeah, I guess it's funny.
but I don't know, man. But yeah, no problem, man. Like that, yeah, shit is straight, and we'll fucking.
Well, yeah, we'll play again. We'll definitely play again. I got to get my Sonya back in shape.
Your Sonya wasn't bad, man. You were actually pretty fucking good, dude. You just have to. You got to learn like a little bit of the new shit, and I think that you'd be pretty amazing at the game, man. You're not. You're like, if you know like the high damage shit, and you already know that, like, and you just all you got to do is like polish up a little bit on like the core like glitch having and shit. The shit isn't really that bad. I'm telling you, man. It's really those glitch jabs are not as bad as people make them out to be, man. And if
you know what it boiled down to for me in terms of the glitch jabs. So let me just say this. I've begun learning to play the game with them and incorporating them to a degree in my game. And my overall game has taken a little bit of a hit as I adjust to them because you don't work on doing other things as you begin to learn the new mechanic. But I'm okay with that because I know it's all going to mesh a little bit over time. But what got me about the glitch jabs at first, and I've since I don't even worry about it because it's just part of the game.
Right.
But what it was is just the idea that a game could have a mechanic where you could attack and defend at the same time, and I was like, wow, that's just like it's like mind blowing. I looked at it, I was like, wow, that's like the most broken thing in history. But then you think about it, if the entire cast can do it, it's the whole Marvel.
It's not really that broke. I mean, it is broken, but it's not. That's the fucked up thing about it. You know what I mean?
It's the whole Marvel theory. If everybody's broken, then nobody's really broken.
Exactly.
Right. I agree. So.
Let me just interject. Hey, Kingway Jr., you there?
Yes.
Yes.
What's going on? You pumped up for this week?
Yep.
You're gonna whoop Alex Jeb Bailey's butt?
Yep.
I want you to get perfects on him. I want you to humiliate him.
Been practicing.
I hope you really take it to him because you know you deserve the win.
Know everything.
Yeah, you got everything down pat now.
Mhm.
So what's it gonna be? 3 out of 5?
First to 3.
First
yeah,
to 3?
first to 3.
So 3 in a row for you, or what?
3 in a row.
You're not even going to give him a chance. You're not even going to give him a round, huh? Good. I'm glad to hear that. Phil in base, King Ray Jr. is the youngest OBS member. He is how old now? 6?
He's actually 7. He'll be
7 now.
8 in November.
Wow, he's getting old.
Give him
Yeah.
15 minutes and he'll be taller than me.
I'll be whooping people's butt when I'm 12.
You're already starting to whoop people's butts. I mean, I've watched a lot of your videos out there. I seen you. I see you're vicious with what's his name, Armor King.
Yeah.
And which girl is that? Because I'm not big into Tekken. That's
Oscar.
Oscar, right? I like Oscar actually. But so now talking to your pop, is this still on? That if what does he get if he wins?
I think it was just they were talking about taking them and getting them like a Happy Meal or something, just something fun.
I think they should get him a new car.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
What kind of car do you want?
I don't want to drive my car.
No, you get it and you give it to your dad for his birthday present.
That sounds good.
Oh.
How about this? How about?
No, I want my new car.
You want your new? Oh, now you want the car, huh?
Yes, I want the car. My car. My car.
Well, I mean, do you, being that this is the On Blast show, do you have any choice words that you want to share with Mr. Alex Jabali?
Well,
Is there anything you want to say to him about getting your run back?
well, didn't block any of his moves.
But you will this time, right?
Mm-hmm.
You took it easy on
that
him.
video.
Now, do we know it's gonna be a first to 5, a first to 3, or what?
First 3.
It's gonna-
First to 3.
A first to 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I thought Alex agreed on changing the name of the tournament to the King Ray Jr. tournament. I
Yeah, what happened to that?
I think
Isn't that
that's
the
what
case?
it should.
I think that was going to be the next one after CEO, is what he agreed to.
Okay, so
if I remember correctly.
So when he gets his run back, because Junior, you're gonna have to give Alex a run back, right? After he loses.
Yep. Uh-huh.
It's only fair. He's giving you the run back, so you'll have it settled by what's the next tournament after that?
Here comes the
I
Dad.
want to say he's got one coming up in September, I believe.
Yeah, September. Yeah, that's the one. September.
Dark Lurker 23-1. He's got videos on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your videos under?
If he looks up King Ray Jr., you'll find a couple videos, and then I think from there you can link to other videos.
Daddy, the hair's on my knee.
Well, it's getting late for you, Junior. I don't want to keep you up late because I know you're practicing a lot, and
Yeah.
I want you to save your energy to whoop Alex Jabali's butt for me.
And hopefully you win the whole Tekken tournament also.
Oh yeah. Well, hands down, I know you're making top 8. I want you making top 8. I want you taking the whole tournament.
Yep, I'll do that.
And is Pop going into Injustice? Are you both going into Injustice?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be playing Injustice.
Oh my goodness.
Junior still is reluctant to want to pick it up, but I've been trying to teach him. He knows a little bit with Batman, but he really hasn't gotten too much into the game.
Just use Scorpion.
Yeah, just use Scorpion, really.
He wants to use Scorpion.
But I got him. I went ahead and entered him into Dive Kick, so he'll be playing Dive Kick as well as Tekken.
Good. And win Dive Kick too.
I know there's a new player at Jabali's name, Jabali. Knew that.
James paying children to beat up top beat players. Yep, that's right. Because you know what? The children are what this is about.
And he says if someone wins, Dad, If he says if someone wins with Jafali,
Yeah, that he was gonna give. I think that was the thing was if anybody wins with Jafali, the dive kick tournament and uses them all the way through, that he's gonna throw in an extra $250 or something to that effect.
Wow. You're gonna get paid, Junior, huh?
yep. Paid.
But I'm gonna let you guys go because, like I said, I don't want to keep you up. It's already 11 o'clock at night, so keep me informed. So it's playing at 5 o'clock on Saturday, correct?
That's the time they're shooting for, around 5 p.m. on Saturday before the Tekken finals.
And you're gonna get some casuals up there during the day, filmed on your own, or?
I'm gonna try to record matches on my phone and get those uploaded, and I can shoot you some links, and things like that too. So, but the main exhibition match will be streamed.
Okay, cool. So I mean, we'll get the stream on that and hit me up with that. And everybody that's out there, is he under your account or is he under his own now on Twitter?
On Twitter, I created one for him that I monitor, and that's @_King Ray Jr. And then I've got mine, which is @_King Ray.
@_.
Yeah, that's gonna be a hype match when everybody sees him up there.
The first one was great. I mean, that match is actually on YouTube as well. When he played Jabali the first time, that was back in November.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we had a blast even then. And I could imagine, being a major, it's going to be that much better.
I was surprised he didn't put the match in the Fighter Mania.
What I learned from that.
Yeah, I was a little surprised, but I mean, I guess next year or maybe the year after.
Well, but right before Tekken Grand Finals is a nice spot also, so that's actually good.
It is.
All right, look at that. I'm getting some coverage. I got some coverage I got to talk to you about later. I'll message you. Like I said, I'm gonna let you split because, like I said, everybody in here is kind of running late. I know Phil's also running kind of late, and base and getting old. Everybody got to be in bed by 11.
Oh yeah.
11.
Yeah.
I'm way past my bedtime at 11.
Really? What's your bedtime?
Are you kidding me? I come home, I eat, I take a dump, and I go to sleep.
Guy.
In that order?
Well, listen, if it's been a Taco Bell night, maybe not.
He's leaving. Hold on, Junior's leaving.
All right, Junior. Anybody you want to give shout outs to?
Yep.
Who do you want to give a shout out to? Anybody you want to give a shout out to? Anybody that you want to give a shout out to me? Give me a shout out. Of course, give a shout out to OBS and give a shout out to Jabali for hosting this exhibition match and agreeing to it. Shout out to everyone that's out there playing games in the fighting game community and competing.
Daddy.
Shout out to Daddy, man. Keeping an eye on him and keeping him gaming, man. Good job, man.
That's right.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I know there's a tournament coming up in Tampa coming up next, right? I believe down there.
Tampa, I think they do have one. Tampa Never Sleeps, I think, is coming up soon. And then I want to say it may be 2 weeks after CEO.
Okay,
But,
good. I'm gonna try.
you know,
I'm gonna try to get down there, depending on the time. And I mean, I wanted to come for this, but work is work, Like these other two old men were saying, it seems like work is getting longer hours and less money.
And that's the thing. Life always comes first. You got to take care of life first, and this is a hobby, so enjoy it when you can.
All right. Anyway, I'm gonna let you go because I know Junior's got to get sleep, and he gets cranky when he doesn't get sleep. I've heard him in
All right,
full.
guys.
I've heard him in full mode. All right, guys. King Ray Jr. will be taking on Alex Jabali Saturday, 5 o'clock. Tekken Tag 2. He's going to be blowing him up, blowing him out of the water, and repping OBS. Give him a follow at @_King Ray Jr. And follow his father as well at underscore King Ray, and stay up to date. Look him up on YouTube, King Ray Jr. Check out some of his combo videos and some of his competitions. You're going to say, damn, I whooped my ass. With that, guys, I will hit you up because I actually got a couple of messages that were actually pretty cool that I'm sure you're going to want to hear.
All right, later, guys.
All right, man. All right.
Now, Phil and Base said they're leaving also.
Yeah, I gotta roll out. But hey, James, good shit on your 1-year anniversary here, man. You put in a lot of work on this shit. Glad that I can say I'm guest number 1.
Yes, you are, man.
What do you call it? And NaTaS, good shit to you too. Even though you did say back in the day that if I came back on the show, you were gonna quit, but I'm glad you didn't. It's all good though. No, congratulations, and Phil, good shit with your stream the other day, man. You raised a lot of money for a good cause, man, and definitely commended for that.
I appreciate it, and you know we're not done with those streams just yet, or if ever. They're a lot of fun to do, and you know next one we'll get you on for some UMK3. Have you baby and people.
We'll see what happens, man.
Well, I sent you a message on Skype, so feel free to add me, and if you want to hit me up, we'll play some games.
My man. All right, James.
All right, man. Peace.
All right, later, Base.
Jimmy, I'm gonna get going, but both you and NaTaS, congratulations on a year. Great job with this stuff.
All right.
Thank you, man.
All right, Phil.
Keep it up.
You got it.
Talk to you guys later.
Later, man.
All right, later.
Bye.
All right, let's go back to Carlos. You there?
Carlos, you got your mic muted.
I know he does. I told him to.
Yeah, I know. I was glad it reminded him.
Okay, there we go. Can you
There
hear
we
me
go.
now?
Yep.
Yeah,
There
we hear you.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm still here. That was, man. I didn't know like he actually like King J Jr. is actually gonna. I want to check that match out.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's gonna be pretty hype. It's definitely gonna be hype.
And I have trouble with Tekken. Like I actually tried it. I think I played Tekken 4 on when it came out, and I actually liked the mechanics in that game. And then when I skipped Tekken 5, I went to 6, and I couldn't. It's always hard to get into it. And then I tried Tekken Tag 2 actually at a local college here in Houston. They were like playing some casuals, and I passed by. I was like, hey, let me try it. But I don't know, like it's just man. But if if he can do it, I think I'm gonna pick up that game now.
It's you know what? Like I said, I have no qualms with any game out there. You know, I mean, any fighting game that's playable, if I could squeeze the time in to actually sit down in front of a TV, I don't care if it's Smash, Persona, any chance to play a fighting game, and given the opportunity, I'll take. I don't, the one thing I notice, too many people are bashing too much shit rather than just saying, hey, you know what? The fighting game community is the fighting game community. It's not the Capcom community. It's not the Mortal Kombat community. It's not the anime community. It's all under one banner, and soon as people start to accept that, as soon as this community can actually start to grow, I feel, and I was talking about it on Twitter today when I was hearing all this stuff about Scorpion, and I kind of feel like, yes, even Clay Fighters, one man. Clay Fighters, I was big with those Clayalities.
Damn, old school.
Yeah. But, it's to the point when I was listening to the people talk about Scorpion, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm old school, but I forgot what happens to somebody that wants to be a champ and basically deals with anything that's thrown at them, rather than crying over the Twitterverse to the programmers telling them to change the game. Now, of course, we put the link up once, and obviously there's a patch coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Scorpion is going to get beat up a little bit, but it's funny because I feel bad for, and I said this on Twitter, I feel bad for people that maybe they didn't vibe with any of the DC characters, and they finally got a chance to play a character like Scorpion that they liked, and they trained for the last, couple of weeks, and they planned on going to Evo or CEO, and now they're being told basically, well, thank you for paying for your trip and picking your character, but by the way, he's going to be banned.
Don't that suck?
That's kind of, in my opinion, that's kind of scummy. Thank you, Red Soul. To me, that really sucks. And all anybody else offered is, well, too bad. Well, I don't like Superman, and I don't like fucking what's his name, Black Adam having a bunch of testicles floating around them. I think that should be taken out of the game. What's to stop and say, it's kind of like, Paco, Hector, Brian, Boone, the whole crew. They're like Leonardo da Vinci, and they're doing a painting, and all of a sudden every critic's saying, no, maybe the eyes should be blue, maybe their hair should be longer, or maybe you should paint with this color. They're the artist. I understand they reach out to the community, for online competition, for offline competition. That's a luxury. I don't see, the guys over at, at Konami, taking people's opinions of what Snake should look like, or, I don't see a lot of these other games out there taking into consideration what the fans of the game looks like. It's their creation. It's their tournament. They can do whatever they want. I understand that. It's their tournament. They can do what they want. But the fact is, Scorpion is he's good. Now, I've heard everybody compare Scorpion's, should I say, Rio's version of Scorpion. And everybody said, Rio's version of Scorpion is stupid. But what about that guy that now you can jump up and down, but that person that comes to these tournaments that doesn't excel, should I say? They don't excel at games, but they say, I want to come. I've been following. I like my Scorpion. The Scorpion character gives me a little bit of a cushion and a little like a learning curve to almost level you up with top players. Now, I don't understand why one character can't suck and the other one be great. Why does everybody have to be the same? With the ban thing, I don't know who's getting, I don't know if he's being banned yet. I'm just giving my opinion.
Well, Jabali said he wasn't for CEO.
Okay, well, that's good.
Jabali said his term is basically be the testing ground on how good Scorpion is.
No good then. Basically, they're saying that Scorpion's teleport is too overpowering.
And it breaks the system's mechanics.
And it breaks the mechanics of the game. But you know what? I look at it and I say, you play a fighting game, and I'll say, me and Natus, for example, if I'm playing, a typical fighting game, let's say like Street Fighter, and I'm beating on him. Because I'm beating on him, his meter goes up. And then when your meter is full, but keep in mind, you're gaining meter, which gives you a super duper super, for me kicking the crap out of you. And I personally have a problem with that. It's like you're losing, but yet you're gaining meter, rather than just the guy winning should be gaining meter. And basically what that is that's partially to blame for this whole learning curve thing, where I could beat you down to whatever, let's say half your energy. Now you got a full meter, you hit this one move, and all of a sudden we're even again. And to me, that's pathetic. It's taking the level of skill out of a game. Let people play the game. Let the game play out. I hear a lot of people talking that champion speech. A champion doesn't argue about the situation or what they get. What cards are dealt with, and they deal with it as it is. and figure out a way around it. Now, people are going to go, oh, well, the only way around it is to use Scorpion. Well, then I go, you better get good at Scorpion. Because if you get a high-level Scorpion player, it's what's going to happen is you're going to get blown up. So you better learn to have a pocket Scorpion. But now that the nerfs are coming out, I don't know how much it's going to make a difference. And, doesn't Aquaman being able to block when you hit every 8 seconds breaking the game mechanics too? Yes, it is. Correct, one man. There's a lot of things, do you pity the fool, James? I don't pity anybody. What I want is I want to see somebody come out and be a master at every character. That doesn't just hop on their tier list and say, well, this guy is the best, so let me use him. Obviously, Superman should be good, but there are characters that should suck. And that's one of the problems that I see. Perfect Legend uses Scorpion for winning by dollars. No one wants shit dough, James. Oh, shit dough, James. UMK Street Fighter would unpopular otherwise. You know what? You're right. It probably would. Now I'm gonna and again I'm not trying to throw out. You know me, Carlos. I'm not gonna throw out no pity punch. But I hear guys complaining about nerfs in the game. You're a blind player, so talk about a disadvantage and an advantage depending on the game. I know you were saying MK9. Obviously, the sound has been more in tune for you as compared to Injustice. What's your take on all the complaining?
Well, like the way I see it, I mean, because obviously, like I have disadvantages anyway that nerfs wouldn't even help me out anyway. So like what I do is just take on the challenges, like, and try to find out a way, like, try to default alternative to kind of overcome that. Like like with MK9, like actually like last week on Friday, Kat mentioned like because Cabal versus the robot Cyrax is it's a pretty bad matchup. And so he was saying that, how come you don't consider it human Cyrax? I'm like, well, I want to, but the fact that, human Cyrax, when it comes to using his bomb traps and stuff like that, like, it doesn't have the sounds that let me know when the bomb is about to explode, whereas robot Cyrax has that. So I'm like, oh man, like I was thinking about it, but I was like, you know what? I already know how to use, robot Cyrax pretty well, I think anyway. And so I just have to like, I need to fight, more with Cabal to at least get used to it and not just get, bodied like totally, like right now, if my goal at least is that I don't get bodied with Cabal, like when I'm fighting against him, because I know it's a really bad matchup. So. And I mean that this you refer to this advantage, like like a lot of you guys know that the actual frame data, so like you can actually see how long does each move last, or like because sometimes the sounds doesn't there's a difference between like the actual the speed of light and the speed of sound, so like the sounds might be a little more delayed, so I might react a little bit later, but I mean other than that, like no, like I just take on whatever's thrown at me. I mean, that's pretty much like how I take on not only fighting games, but it's like in anything I do is like I have a disadvantage. Oh well, like I need to find an alternative way to kind of get over that. So like and I guess just now that just honestly, I guess like people are just so used to things being handed to them. It's like, oh, let me get that, boom, I'll get it. It's like you gotta work for your stuff, man. And in order for you to get better, you always have to work for it. And I'm sure this, everybody has always heard that, but like I'm just observing, like since I'm still like one of the unknown guys in the fighting game community, but like it's like there's always gonna be something that people are gonna complain about no matter what. But like all I can think of is like, man, just suck it up and deal with what you got,
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing that kind of turns my stomach. It's like, they don't, rather than figure out a way to work around it, they feel like, well, no, I shouldn't have to work around it. They should actually kind of cater it to me to bring it back to the level I'm at. rather than sit there and say, you know, I better figure out a way with my character to shut this guy down, or I'm going to have to change characters.
Like right now with Injustice, actually, like my main problem with Injustice, because I entered for both MK9 and Justice for Evil, and my only gripe with Injustice is the interactables. Like, you know, it's like it's a huge disadvantage. So like what I'm working on right now is just how to avoid them, because like, you know, I can't. I'm probably one of the only one who probably might ask for a thing as like, oh, why don't you add like a sound that lets me know that I'm near the object or something? But since there's not enough demand for it, then of course that's not gonna happen. But like what I'm doing instead now is like trying to figure out ways that I can avoid those objects being thrown at me, and instead like, you know, just go head on without, you know, instead of like, you know, worrying about whether I can use one of the interactables or not. So like I'm just working on that right now, is how to avoid them. Like that's my thing right now. So if I do fight someone, I'm gonna make sure like that I would like, you know, try not to like get hit by them, and just once I got him cornered, or like once I, you know, if I, you know, I hit an anti-air, and I just go ahead and unleash my combos and just focus on that rather than like, you know. So I'm taking like, that's a huge disadvantage, but I'm like, you know what, I don't care, fuck it.
All right. Bill, you there? I don't know if he's there or not. You know.
Yeah, I'm here, Jimmy. I'm here, Jimmy.
All right. What's going on, sir?
What's going on? I hear all these points here. I just want to say this was a very uncomfortable position for me, because players, since Scorpion's release, have come to me through back channels, whether they call me on the phone, or, you know, PM, or text me, or email, whatever. And they always say, Tom, you know, you got to say something. If I say something, no one's going to listen. Even other top players have said, if I say something, my voice holds no weight. I'm just one guy crying. You know, can you please speak out? You know, and try to be a voice of reason. You know, and word it so it doesn't sound like crying. And they asked me, I guess, because, or can, you know, we had the conversation. And they said, can you say something, because I'm infamous for never wanting nerfs. This was a tough decision for me, because to sit here and back this, because first of all, I don't ever want to hear anyone say to me, Tom, you don't ever try to beat anything. You want easy wins. I played sub-fucking-0 and tried to figure out every fucking match in the game. Cabal, Katana, the most handicapped matches, and I found little ways to do what I had to do. So if anyone wants to say Tom doesn't spend time in the lab, I'll tell you you're a joke and have no business even opening your mouth. That's one. Two, when I thought about this. The argument of, if a character beats the stuffing out of every character in the game, 9 1s, 10 0s, simply because they're too good, like a Cabal or a Kenshi, does that warrant a ban? And I said, absolutely not. I had to think about it. And I said, Cabal and Kenshi beat a lot of characters simply because they're just better at using the system. Technically speaking, even if you're a Sub-Zero, I have beaten plenty of Cabals, Jimmy, in tournament. We all know this. Despite how bad the matchup is, I still have beaten them. Because as bad as Cabal beats characters like this, the engine still technically gives me the tools to deal with what I have to deal with. So when a character beats, God knows how many members of the cast by a large margin, for the simple reason that they are just too good or quote-unquote too OP, that's not enough to ban. That's something where you go in the lab and you figure out what the system allows you to do, and you find a way to win.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be like, look, I watched you over the weekend playing and whacking people at the end with the water shield. You would, when they had minimal damage, you would just boom, water shield ass. Now, what would stop me from going, well, shit, how do I stop that once you engage it?
Water shield comes down by itself over time, which then I'm vulnerable and cannot block.
But my thing is this: you were catching people with it all night, all through 24 hours.
For that's bit of help because they're too anxious. They don't anticipate the water shield or say whatever. That's no different than like Cabal's meter burns and the EX spin or whatever.
But at what point would I, as a player, have to stop and go, well, shit, I jumped at you 4 times with little energy and you hit me with every time. Maybe I should rethink my game plan.
But let me finish now. That's what I'm saying. But that is different. The system gives you tools to deal with it. Oh, he put the water shield up. I have read, okay, the water shield is up. It expires by itself. And then people do this all the time. They either make my water shield expire by itself and catch me, or make a good read on when I'm going to cancel the water shield, and then they come in and they punish me. The difference between a character like Scorpion, and this was my ruling. And I hate saying the word ruling. I was very uncomfortable even going forward and making a decision on supporting a ban or saying, hey, let's come together on this, or even going forward, despite the fact that a lot of players had asked.
Tom, can I cut you 1 second real quick? I just want to give a quick shout out to Ustream, who actually retweeted us and happen to have 1.5 million followers. So they just put out a retweet for us for the show. So shout out to them for doing that. So that's really nice of them, since Twitch never did that for us, and Ustream happened to do that for us. So yo, shout out to you guys. Go ahead, Tom.
So basically, that was the difference between Cabal. I saw the guy brought that up. But there's a difference between that and Scorpion, which is why I decided that I would actually come forward and bring everyone's concerns to light. Because I looked at Scorpion and I said, there's a difference in a character just being better than everyone else in the system, which is why they dominate. That's not ban-worthy. That just says, you know what, suck it up and deal with it. But Scorpion beat the stuffing out of so many characters, not because, he was too good in the system, because he broke the system. And he had something that the characters were not designed to fight. That was the problem. Don't tell me that no character in MK9 was designed to get around fireballs. They were all designed to get around fireballs in one way, shape, or form. Don't tell me that they weren't designed to get around that garbage. But the character abuses the block scheme. And characters were not made to fight a character that can break the block scheme at will with no consequence. That is not what the game was designed for, which is what the problem was. I mean, this is a lot of people coming, possibly. No, I mean, this is a lot of people coming to me saying this was their concern. I mean, I was very uncomfortable in this situation. I mean, I sat here. It was my opinion that I was going to sit here and say nothing for God knows how many months, and everybody sat here and was going to say, "Oh, he's fine, he's fine, he's fine," and I was going to sit here while they all complained about him and just say, "Well, you said he was fine." I was not in a position where I was going to come forward and say one word. It's just that, it got really bad. I mean, people were saying, we're going to quit the game, we're going to quit the game. Someone's got to say something. Nobody cares what we have to say. Nobody cares what we have to say. It got really bad. I didn't know what to do. Well, I felt like my hands were tied. So I said, okay, you know what? We'll go there. We'll all put our opinions on the table. We'll speak everyone's mind. I mean, I don't understand why, if people have an opinion, they can't voice it on their own. Why they have to wait for certain people to go forward. I don't understand it. So, but in any people were afraid to come forward and speak their opinion. A lot of people wanted to say this. They wanted to voice their opinion, but they figured, if I voice my opinion, this community is going to call me a crybaby and so on and so forth. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'm so over the Scorpion drama. I'm so over every other day is about Scorpion now. I just figured I wanted to, I put other players' gripes on the table and let them go from there. You don't see me in any of these Scorpion debates on the forum. I made that podcast and let everyone else give their opinion. I don't care. People just felt like there was no way that they can give their opinion unless we came forward and said something, which is unfortunate. But I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, I felt like the meter burn teleport was the fact that it took no risk. I mean.
Now they kind of nerfed it from what I see there.
I mean,
but now here's the thing. Like I was saying, now what about the guy? I hear everybody saying, "Well, I'm going to stop playing." Now I'm going to say a handful of people saying they're going to stop playing. You're talking high level Scorpion like Rio or Perfect Legend. That's one thing. If it's not high level, then it's like. That guy that finally found a character they can identify with is basically being told that, basically, fuck you. The rest of the community, and I've heard people tweeting, I read people tweeting, well, those people don't matter. But you know what? They do to the people who sell the game.
I mean, ultimately, I think, and I never thought his jump attacks were too good, ever, nor did I ever say that. I simply addressed players' concerns about the meter burn teleport. I personally feel that, I mean, some people made valid reasons to me. Some people didn't like the fact that his teleport had become high. Some people felt that, hey, here's ultimately the problem. Here's what really boiled this over. Scorpion has been out for roughly about 3 weeks. You have players that we know are not bad players. No one's going to sit here and say, RicoSuave, he's a scrub. He may beat guys like Chris G or whatever other kind of players, but RicoSuave is a scrub. Only a moron would say something like that.
Yeah.
Junior, he's trash. Junior, he can't beat anybody. He's a bum. He's a scrub. He doesn't know anything. Those are ridiculous statements to say. So, when you see these guys losing to like Scorpion 18 straight games, and then the community
but who's playing Scorpion?
Hold on, but then the community comes together and says, "Oh no, you don't take him." It's insulting to a player when you have taken a character into the lab, and you have tried to find a way. And if you lose 20, 18 straight, whatever it is, you're a scrub, you don't know anything, you're bad, despite the fact that you're doing well in tournament. And if you say, hey, I think this character's too much, you say, oh, you didn't spend any time in the lab. And players were getting irritated because from what I got, RicoSuave, I had the same thing. I said, well, maybe you didn't spend enough time really working on fighting him. And he says, I spend every day working on fighting this character. And I'm tired of people telling me that I'm lazy and that I don't break this character down and that I don't try to fight him. Or that I'm bad if I lose to him. He's like, get out. People are tired of hearing that. That they're bad if they lose to him. They're bad if they get blown out. And if they say something is too powerful with him, then, oh, you're just lazy. You haven't spent 1 minute in practice mode learning how to defend against him. And that's what people kind of got kind of angry, I think. I mean, it was just a culmination. I have never had so many people I don't know. It was just a lot, whatever about Scorpion. And my personal opinion, the only thing I feel, I mean, I read the nerfs about Scorpion. I mean, whatever. I'm not going to sit here and speak strongly on the subject either way. What I do feel is that the regular teleport should probably have stayed mid. I mean, one of the most valid arguments I've ever heard that people have brought to the table have been they say they don't like the regular teleport because they say the meter burn teleport is so powerful that the regular teleport can kind of get slipped in and escape with minimal damage, minimal punishment. That if a Scorpion player knew that there was no way in hell that if they were blocking, they were going to lose 40 to 45%, 50% universally, they would try to quote unquote slip a regular teleport in there. I mean, there's just all kind of concerns out there, and I don't know what the answer is. I don't know how to calm anybody down, Jimmy.
It's like I tweeted out there earlier. Let the shit rock, man. Let it go. I mean, how many disgruntled people are going to be pissed that they're getting fucking nonstop, Superman and Black Adams? Now, regardless to the physics and everything to the game of Scorpion defying physics, I can go through each of those characters and find something that needs to be changed, in my opinion. And that's the problem. These are opinions. This isn't like, this isn't to the point where the game is so broken. You're talking one character.
Although, Jimmy, I will say this. I have seen Black Adams and Supermans fight a lot of people. But I have never seen a Black Adam and Superman make the match have one player hold down for eternity in the middle of the stage. That I have never seen. Either way, be that as it may, these people have their strong opinions, and nothing that's said seems to change their mind. Whatever you say, any attempt to... It's like you're stuck in the middle of a mob. Any attempt to calm down the Scorpion, the Scorpion hate nation, which is about 80% of the community, just gets them angrier. You say, well, maybe you didn't take this into the lab. Have you tried this? Have I tried? You tried that. Then they just get angry. And they say, well, you show me. You show me this. And it doesn't help that the community says nobody is able to demonstrate how to put these things into action yet. These quote-unquote ways to beat Scorpion, that no one is demonstrating them universally. You know. You know, so
I mean, let me ask you this: you play a Scorpion player, you counter pick with Scorpion.
I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't know if that's an answer. But I mean, again,
I mean, but there is an answer there. Now, if it's not the answer that everybody finds acceptable, that's a different story. But there are answers.
I mean, I was of the mind frame, Jimmy, that off the bat to say ban a character permanently is too far. That was my initial whatever. To sit here a month in and say permanently ban a character, that's going a bit too far. But I felt like maybe because of how new he was and how different he was in the system, and maybe not to say definitely he's too broken, but possibly he's too broken. You know, it's hard to say definitely at this point, which is how I always felt. But maybe just keep him and Zon bad for Evo. Because what really pisses people off is not saying, hey, leave him legal now. It's if you leave him legal for Evo and leave him legal for VXG, and then after people have spent $4,000, $5,000 going to these two tournaments, let's say 3 months down the road, the community comes together and says, and TOs come together and they say, you know what? We have enough hard data now to say he should be banned. People were coming to me saying, I will tell you, go fuck yourself. I spent $5,000, now he should be banned. Fuck you and fuck your tournament. You know? And that was the kind of reaction I was getting. People were physically angry. You couldn't
but the same can go the other way. I've been training my ass off with Scorpion for the last, couple of weeks, and some motherfucker just turned around and told me my character got banned. I paid thousands of dollars too.
You know what? And that's my next argument, Jimmy. That I don't feel like you can say leave a tournament character legal for 6 months or a year and then up and ban them. Because I would say, let me get this straight. You told me to prove a character was broken, and then I did it, and my reward is you want to take him from me while you get to keep the character you've been using for the last year. I have to start from scratch. I don't ever agree. I agree that if you're going to ban early, not ban late. Because I think if somebody were to tell me a year later that I had to stop using Aquaman because he was proven broken, I would never play the game again. What a great reward, Jimmy. I get to lose my character, and I have to start from scratch. But these people, they get to keep their Batman, their Superman, their Black Adam. They don't have to stop playing their character. I have to start from scratch. And I don't like that.
No, nobody likes it, and it's damned either way. And that's the problem. It's like, where do you weigh it? Do you and I'm unlike other streaming organizations out there, I'm not going to call the people who were vocal terrorists, but I saw the assault on Hector, and I was like, wow. Everybody and their mother was just ripping him apart.
The problem is it's so hard to talk to anyone. See how we're talking here calmly? We're talking maybes, possiblies, who knows? You can't talk to anyone on the matter because they're furious. They're physically angry. I don't know what the solution is. I don't know. I really tried hard not to speak out on it. I tried my hardest not to speak out on it. Look, man, I played Sub-Zero, man, for 2 years trying to find out how to beat 10-0 matchups. I don't ever want to hear somebody tell me that I'm quick to jump the gun on anything. It's a tough call. I thought maybe it might have been fair to say ban him for Evo along with Zod, and then legalize them afterwards. I don't know.
Yeah, but then now what about me saying, well, if that's the case, then you should ban Batgirl as well.
I'd be okay with banning all the DLC.
Ban all DLC. Then that But now, once again, your group of players that are intended to go to some of these events that are going to be going, what the fuck? Why are you banning my character? That's who I've been playing. I think it was something that maybe the TOs should have went to right away, but then it was kind of like the same thing that they were saying about the interactables. Now I got Carlos here. Carlos is blind. Carlos is going to go to Evo to play Injustice, and has no way of cueing that somebody's throwing an interactable at him until it's being thrown, and he has to have quote unquote lightning reflexes. So it's like, they said that at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like it's just a never-ending cycle of unhappy people. That, it's, and Batgirl and Lobo have been out long enough. I understand that SSJ for Crisis, but now if you've been playing those characters and you got told, well, he's banned, you're gonna, and you've been playing them and you felt confident with him, now you're going back to the drawing board, going, well, who do I use? What does the community find acceptable for me to play as?
I mean,
wait. Let me throw my thoughts into this. First, all right. It's. When's the last time Scorpion was ever considered highest tier in the game? Probably never.
At Jedi Alliance.
Okay, that's the last time he's been considered even at the highest tier possible right now.
Number one, yes, it was number one in that.
And now you're finally seeing Ed Boon's baby, which everybody knows is Scorpion, back at his top form again. Because we all know in MK9 he got the shit nerfed out of him and he sucked ass. All right, the only thing he still got that was viable, that was annoying us, was his Vortex. And we all have to admit, when we got caught in the Vortex, we were caught. Unless you had to break it to get out of it, but it was still pretty cheap. And now they put him back in this game, and now they made him the way he is. Yes, he's up there. I was just telling Max, I told Max he's S tier, and Max is like, no, he's broken. I said, well, then he's considered in God tier then if he could beat up most of the damn cast. On top of that, I'm seeing people talk about, oh, well, I used an hour-long Scorpion, body people online. Hello, most of these people who are saying they use hour-long Scorpions are Mortal Kombat players. They've used Scorpion before. He's not that much different from MK9. And talk about, oh, I'm bodying people already. He's not that much different. Almost all his moves are fucking same. He's got almost the same kind of strings, same setups with Vortex. He's not that much different from MK9. So he's an easy character to pick up for any Mortal Kombat player out there to pick up. Even I dilly dabbled in Scorpion a little bit. It didn't take me that long to figure out how to use his stuff and how it set up work, because I already knew from MK9.
Well, I don't think it's that. I think it's that the meter burn teleport is so hard to defend initially if you're not used to it.
But he had EX teleport and
now let me ask you this.
Had a block button.
What else does he have that's godlike?
Hold on. Now here's what people have to consider. I have spent time in Nether Realm, not much, but I will say this. I hear everybody giving their thoughts. Everybody likes to play, I guess, instead of armchair quarterback, I'm going to say armchair lead designer. Man, these ads. I'm going to say everyone likes to play armchair lead designer. Basically, I'm going to do Paulo's job from my chair here at home, and I'm going to tell Paulo and John and Ed and Hector, I'm going to tell them how to do their job because I know how to do it so much better, which is a lot of times what you get. And one thing I have learned, and watching these guys work, is that these guys do this for a living. I can't tell you how many ideas that I have had in my head or that other gamers have had that you think work so great. Everyone thinks they're a genius from home. If they implement my idea, it'd be so good in the fighting game. Not thinking that these guys have already tried to implement ideas like this in fighting games and seen why they do and don't work. So these guys are the designers, and they know a lot better. As much as tournament players know a lot of stuff, don't act like designers don't know anything either. No, they're just too stupid to know what does and doesn't work in a fighting game, which I think is an insult. So when I was reading some of the suggestions to fix
Brady, are you logged into the chat on Ustream?
Yeah.
Are you in the X Tom Brady?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, I just want to make sure it's not a fake, because Brady had a fake video.
Yeah, I never thought about making a new Ustream. I haven't been a Ustream in years, so I just didn't feel like making a new name.
It's up and coming.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure that's you.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So basically, I look at the way Scorpion is. And it's kind of one of those things where people are like, change his walk speed, the meter burn teleport. I don't expect it to be full combo punished, because how fair is it for Scorpion to spend a bar of meter to lose his entire life bar? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and the absolute worst suggestion. Hey, let Scorpion spend a bar of meter to lose everything. That doesn't make any sense to me, considering that's the main tool that makes him viable. His jumping attacks, I mean, walk backwards, let him whatever. The only thing that I thought would have been a good idea was the meter burn teleport to just be negative frames. I think the issue people are here's the issue people are having with Scorpion. I don't think it's the meter burn teleport itself. I think what it is that they feel. Here's what I'm getting from players. It's not that they have to deal with the meter burn teleport. Not that it crosses them up or whatever. They feel like Scorpion spends all day in the air. They say, my character, Scorpion's in the air all day. He's back him before he's in the air all day. Okay, they're saying we can never get a piece of him while he's grounded. So they figured if you block the meter burn teleport, even if Scorpion was safe, if at least it guaranteed that for once in the match you got offense on him, that even though he could block it, that he had to block. He couldn't jump around again and keep his offense going. He couldn't re-meter burn teleport you. He couldn't jump away, jump at you. He couldn't keep his offense. That if you blocked it, at least you got offense. That's all I think people really wanted. And they definitely went too far in saying, when I block his meter burn teleport, he should be dead. He should lose 50%. Ludicrous. I can listen to the argument of, maybe his teleport should have stayed high, so at least he can't, quote unquote, sneak one by you, surprise you with it, and you don't, I don't really know anything about human reactions. I'm an old man. Obviously, my reactions must be terrible at my old age, but I don't know. I'm assuming, let's say, an average human would probably react to a whiff teleport punch within 10 frames, 11 frames? Figure? Yeah. That's pretty fast. But an average guy would probably react to that, which will give you about 10 frames to punish Scorpion. So you're probably, the average guy, if they're surprised by the regular teleport, is not going to get a whole lot of punishment on them. People were saying they want their regular teleport to stay mid, so at least when they block that one, they get the meat and potatoes on Scorpion. And possibly the meter burn teleport to stay. At this point, I've read the changes. I don't know how that's going to work out. It's -8. I don't know if you get offense on Scorpion, if you get guaranteed offense that he has to block, seeing as it's -8. I don't see what the issue is at that point. If it does work out that Scorpion has to block when you block his meter burn teleport, okay, you don't punish it, but he has to block. He has to guess on you. I think that would be fair if that's how it worked out. His jumping attacks have been changed. See how that works out. And who knows, But I just feel like people are so angry. And I feel like in the middle getting tugged in 10 different directions. And I don't really know what the right decision is. I'm not Solomon, I'm just some dude who plays a game. I'm not some wise man who knows everything. I'm no different than anybody else. So why anyone would think that I would have an answer to the problem is beyond me. I just feel like the community wants him banned because they feel like the meter burn teleport is too much, that it's too hard to deal with, that it's just too hard to block on a consistent basis, and Scorpion can just throw it out without any risk or consequence. And I feel like that they were being insulted when people say, just hold down the whole game, bro. And then they're holding down, and then they're just like, I don't get anything. Well, hold up then, bro. You told me to hold down. Well, hold up now. And then you hold up and you get hit. Well, hold down, bro. And they're like, dude, what is this? Simon Says? You want me to hold up when I'm holding down and hold down when I'm holding up? I think people started to get, because it's funny. If you read it, Jimmy, it's just like, okay, I'll hold down. And they'll say, no, hold up. Okay, I'll hold up. Dude, hold down. It's like they kind of feel like they're getting jerked around. And I think the ultimate mechanic was people's problems where they were saying, by, I guess, injustice, quote-unquote, fundamentals. Like, Scorpion jumps at you from, let's say, half screen. Now, automatically you know that if someone does that in injustice to try to abuse the lack of anti-airs, you're going to walk backwards, you're going to cause the jump into whiff, and then you're going to use the trip guard, and you're going to full combo punish. But when you walk back, they're saying Scorpion's like, hold on, bro, get the fuck out of here and stay where you are, because here comes that meter burn teleport, and I don't give a shit if you block it. You had better block it, So then you say, okay, well, he's jumping at me from half screen. I don't want to walk backwards and let it whiff. So then Scorpion's like, I'm jumping in, bro. You better fucking hold down, because here it comes. Don't walk back in. Hold down. And then you do that, And he does a jump and he's like, bitch, you better fucking hold up. Or just hold back. And you're like, dude, you're jumping at me from half screen, 3/4 screen, and my only option is hold down and guess if I should hold back or. And they felt like that mix-up was too powerful because it was free. That it was a free mix-up that went into a vortex that Scorpion had absolutely no risk that he can initiate from just past half screen. And I think that's what people were getting frustrated about. And
I mean, look.
It's a guessing game.
It's a knee jerk. It's a knee jerk reaction. I mean, I believe. I don't think there's been enough time spent, with him for everybody to just automatically cry ban him. It's kind of like building the perfect. It's kind of like I guess like the Heat, since you like to always make comparisons. Cleveland was like, yo, we got fucking LeBron. That's it. It's on. Did he win?
No, but in fairness, Cleveland didn't get LeBron James on the last month of the season. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
no, but and that's why either one of two things have to happen. You have to let him rock and see what he can and what can be stopped, what can't, and then only after there's some kind of tournament viable data.
But let me ask you this, Jimmy. Is the tournament to be the testing ground? Should it be the world tournament? Should that be a testing ground?
Yeah, it should be. Because you know what? If you turn around, would you change your character mid-flight? You're Aquaman. Would you change your character mid-flight where you've been training and then all of a sudden turn around and say,
well, my character came out on April 19th or 16th with the rest of every character in the game. I mean, you wouldn't win with Aquaman because he's so new that no one knows what to do with him. I mean, again, I don't have to me, allow him at Evo, ban him at Evo. I'm not the community. I don't have any say. The communities, they're a lot bigger than I am, obviously. So collectively, I leave it up to them to make the decision. I mean, this is democracy, man. So whatever.
Let me hold on. Hey, Carlos, you got to roll?
Yes, sir. Have to roll. Have to wake up early tomorrow, and I have to be like on my full awareness because I cross streets and shit like heavy.
Do you really?
Traffic
You have to be like you have to be like full aware. Like I just walk.
No, like I do it because like right now where I work, I have to cross under like under the freeway, and like it's echoey as hell, and it like the sound bounces off. So like I have to make sure like I hear everything. And in the morning, I'm usually sleepy as fuck. let
me ask you this, and I'm gonna break your balls. Do you got Do you got like Daredevil hearing? If I was to do a little, if I was to do like a little SBD over here, would you hear it through the mic?
Nah, I don't think I can get that. Come on now. Well, I always get teased though, cause like with everything, like every sound around me, it has pitch, dude. Like I hear, like a lawnmower. I was like, that's a C major. They're like, what the fuck? Like, how do you know? And then I'll grab my guitar and I play the note right there, cause everything has a pitch. Believe it or not, everything has a pitch. Like,
well, it's funny because you told me something that I never really obviously picked up on. Now you were saying that in MK9, depending on the side of the screen that the person jumps from, you can actually hear a difference.
Yeah.
Because I actually tried to listen to it, and it's got to be so subtle.
Yeah, you can hear it. Yeah, you can totally hear it. Like the only if what I do now, like if to really hear it, because it's kind of hard when they jump. Yeah, like I actually turn the music off. It's that way, because if the music is a distraction, so like that way I can hear it. But yeah, you can hear it. When the character switches from one side to the screen to the other side.
That's actually cool, man. Like I said, man, you've been, for me personally, one of the most impressive players I've come across, in quite some time. I mean, obviously, with Tom Brady here and the Rios and the Juniors and the Rico Suaves, they're great players, but, for you to be able to compete, and like I said, I've watched your videos, I want to see salty people when you beat them at Evo. That's all I want. I just want to see. I want to walk and come to Paris one day and see just a fucking pile of salt from all the tears of people that you whooped their asses in the game. And I think it's going to happen. I think you're going to shock a lot of people this time around.
I'm working on it, man. That's all. Like, yeah, if you know, like, people want to check out my videos, like, you know, to see where I am at right now, or like, because I'm, you know, like I said, like, shout out to Combat Houston, man, because you know they're helping me out a lot. Like, you know, they were so welcoming. They took me in. Like, you know, Kat was like, "No, it doesn't matter, dude. Like, just show up to us. Just let us know how you play, and we'll accommodate you." I was like, "Well, you know, that's badass right there." So I was like, you know, and so yeah, we like, you know, they give me tips, and like, you know, they tell me like, "Well, this is how it works." And, you know, if I, you know, instead of, so I won't be as random, because like that's my goal. Like, I don't want to just like a random player. I really wanted to get good at the games, and so, and you know, they'll like give me like tips and stuff. So, you know, shout out to those guys.
Yeah,
and
Combat Houston, man. Like I said,
Combat Houston,
stepping up
man.
to the plate.
Yeah, dude. And then so yeah, like, you know, I got some videos on YouTube to, like, you know, just I get obviously against the CPU, but I'm just what I'm working on right, like the most against the CPU is just my execution, you know, doing the, you know, the combos and resets and all that. So, but then like with the guys, that's when we work on more deep stuff, like, you know, the pressure, how to get out of it, how to be more defensive, and how to punish like little things. And so, you know, they're helping me out. So yeah, I'm hoping to, like, you know, make a statement, man. That's my goal. I want to make a fucking statement.
Now you're gonna make another statement for me. Now you and your partners still got the band together?
Yeah, we do.
I need an OBS song.
Oh yeah, right. You want it like our style?
I want your style. I want that, you know, that James Hetfield twist to it, of course.
Yeah.
You know, little Megadeth Metallica sound.
Yeah.
So make it happen, man.
Dude, I'm gonna tell the guys, yeah, like, cause we're working on originals. It's just like right now everybody's kind of doing their own thing right now, and plus, like, you know, I'm basically focusing on, you know, doing good at Evo, so I haven't played as much right now. But yeah, I'll let the guys know. That'd be a good thing to do.
Yeah, it's something to do, man. Definitely something to do.
Yeah, no, but thanks for having me, James. I appreciate it.
Do not let me forget sending you a shirt before you get to Evo.
Oh yeah, I was waiting about that. I was wondering.
You know what it is? I'm a lazy motherfucker. Bill, I saw Bill last week, and I was supposed to give him a black hoodie, and I didn't bring that either. I'm absent-minded. You know, he wants that black hoodie.
You got like what, 2 weeks, right? Yeah, you have 2 weeks before Evo. Yeah, 2 weeks. So yeah, man, I'm waiting on that.
I'll FedEx it to you.
Gotta represent, man. So yeah. But yeah, thanks for having me, James and NaTaS. And nice to meet you, Tom. That Sub-Zero, man. That Sub-Zero, man. I believe it or not, I actually listen to your. Yeah, I know, like, but I listened to, you know, how you know, utilize the character, and it was just, I thought it was amazing, because you were one of those people that used one of like the worst characters, and you didn't care, you took it. So I mean, that's actually, to me, it's actually inspiring. Like, you know, I'm on, like, you know, I'm just a new guy coming out of nowhere, you know. Like I like the Came 9 and all that, but I didn't get a chance to, you know, play it competitively until now, thanks to James and NaTaS for having me here and getting exposed and stuff like that. So but yeah, no, like, nice meeting you, man, finally.
Same to you. I'll be at Evo, and I look forward to meeting you, and I wish you the best of luck there.
Make sure you drink with him for me.
I'll
dude.
tell you what, man. I'll get him a drink, man. We're drinking. I got him.
I drink. Oh hell yeah, I'm down. I'm down.
No problem. Yeah, I'll see you there then, man.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And but yeah, shout outs to all, like, you know, all the guys out there, MK and Injustice, participating in both games. So I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome.
So.
Anyway, let me let you roll. And again, hit me up during the weeks. Make sure I get that. I got to get that shirt out before this weekend.
Yeah, I'll remind you, man. Yeah, I'll message
you.
you.
I still think you're a large.
I am not, man. Everybody thinks I'm a fucking large. I'm a medium, dude. I swear I'm a fucking medium.
All right, you know what? And then if you turn out to be a large when I send you this medium, I expect you to wear it, fucking busting your nipples out and everything. If it does.
Okay, yeah. Fucking wear it.
Anyway, hit me up during the week, man. I'm glad you came on, man.
All right, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Man. Later.
All right, later.
I would ask MK9 as well, but let's be serious here. I was absolutely god awful at that game. I have no business showing my face in that game. But yeah, I mean, Jimmy, man, have you ever seen anything like this, bro? I have this kind of public outcry. I've never seen anything like it before.
Yeah, this was pretty bad, dude. It's been like three days already of this shit.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately the bottom line is, it's hard not to put yourself in both shoes. Jimmy, you raise a valid point. Imagine playing a character for or for 3 weeks, training for Evo, characters banned, and then you got to go back to your old tournament main. But what about the other note, which is the other side where people are coming to me from the other side of, what if I go to Evo? They say, what if I go to Evo and I get second? Let's say I've been training. I won when I get second. Lose to Scorpion. Okay, no harm, no foul. I got to level up. 2 months later, the community says, yeah, you know what? He was kind of broken. He's banned. How mad do you think that person is, knowing that they lost to a banned character at Evolution, and they have to hear, well, wait a whole year to come back. Maybe it'll be more fair then. Is that fair, Jimmy? You got to look at both sides.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. But it's easy to do the knee-jerk reaction and say, just ban him. You know, you got to look at it on both sides and say, but really at that point when you're left with that decision, and you're sitting there and you're saying, all right, I either ban him or I don't ban him. There's people that obviously have trained with him. There's people that just feel that there's no counter to him. I want everybody to be happy, and there is no answer.
What about this, Jimmy? How about this? What if Zod comes up?
And he blows out of water.
He blows out of water. Hold on, and Scorpion players say, he's too broken. He's whatever. He's obviously too... What do you say to those players now? Hypocrites?
Yep. Yeah, they would be one of the ones that would turn around and say, no, he's a DC character. He belongs in the game. No. If he's that broken, then he's got to be banned too. I mean, and that's where you get to the point where it's like, this is what one of the biggest problems was with MK9. Enough tears come out and shit was changed. What's going to stop it from, what's going to stop him from, once Scorpion's nerfed down a little bit, why can't, I don't like, Batgirl's fucking repel shit, whatever the hell.
Let me ask you a question. Paulo and John are in the stream chat. People are asking me questions, and I don't know these fucking answers, man. And they always say, Tom, contact Paulo, contact John. These guys, easy to say that, but you don't know how hard they really work. So what you're basically saying to me is, Tom, when Paulo and John are home at night with their families, send them an email or PM and talk about work. Are you serious? I'd rather, no. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I don't want to bother those guys. But maybe you guys can answer this for me. When Scorpions teleport at minus, what did it say, -8 now?
Yeah, 8.
On block? But I heard that it has extra pushback. Does that mean that you can get offense on Scorpion? Or can he still jump back or meter burn teleport again? Is there a mind game or a mix-up, or does he get away for free? Is it...
It sounds safe to me.
It's obviously safe. But it's obviously safe. I just don't know if that means you get offense on him or not.
I mean, you shouldn't get punished for doing a meter burn. You are spinning meter.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is also... No, you should be punished. But I mean, I just figure... The concern that I'm getting is that people are telling me maybe it should be... Because people, when they first say it should be combo punished, again, I say that's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, not for spending meter. I mean, sorry.
Yeah, I agree. It shouldn't be punished. However, they're saying Scorpion's always in the air. And we can't ever put him grounded. We can't ever get offense on him. We can't ever put him in our game. I can understand... They can understand if they're always in Scorpion's game. But they say we never have that moment where now we got you. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be different if, I guess, they blocked the meter burn teleport and then they got to initiate some sort of offense on Scorpion. They finally had that one moment where he's grounded and they get to do something to him before he can leave the ground again. Maybe something like that. I mean, I think that's what people were looking for. But I don't know exactly how much added pushback it is, -8, so I guess you could do something. I don't know. I don't really know. And I don't know. Teleport probably should have stayed high, the regular one, and been -42. But again, it's not my decision. And these guys that are designers, it's easy for anyone to play armchair designer, And Jimmy, let's be serious. Yeah. Everyone thinks they're a great armchair designer.
Everybody's a professional. They know what makes a game tick.
Yeah, everybody's a pro lead designer, and that's obviously not the case. I mean, so, it's just, I don't know, Jimmy. I mean, do you think it's possible that he may be too much? I mean, put it this way. I'm totally unbiased here. I don't really know what the right decision is. In your opinion, you don't have any horses in this race.
No.
Do you not think that it's possible that the character, I mean, obviously we don't know for sure, but if a character is to end up being ban-worthy, how long do you think it should take, results-wise, before you say this is too much?
Well, unfortunately, 2 majors. Unfortunately, the 2 majors that are coming up are CEO and Evo. So you're kind of in a position where you go, let it rock for these 2, and then everything thereafter. If he's truly ban-worthy, then you ban him. But
it can't just be wins. It can't just be somebody winning with the character, because then that goes back to the Cabal argument.
No, it has to be stupidly won.
Yeah, it has to. You have to look at it and say, okay, no one is even. It's got to be obvious that the character is ridiculous. It has to look the way it looks today. It has to look that way. 2 months from now, it has to look the same way.
Yeah, it has to. It has to literally be. Hold on, let me add. Okay. It literally has to be. Top players are getting humiliated by a nobody.
I wouldn't say a nobody, but you have to see players of equal skill look like one player is bad. If you take players of equal skill at the highest level,
Fix your mic, Devil.
Hello. At the highest level, and these 2 guys play, and one guy is losing 20-0 tournaments, 3-0, 3-0. You say these guys are even, and when this character's on the screen, it looks like one of them should have got last place. Like, what is he even doing on the screen? Maybe something like that. I mean, I don't know what the answer is, Jimmy. I know people are really angry, and is the right thing to do to tell? I mean,
but now I ask you this:
is it really?
Are Scorpion players angry?
Do Scorpion players really have the right to tell someone that you're not spending any time trying to beat this character? And here's the next part. Jimmy, you're always a guy that has no problem calling people out if they talk out of both sides of their mouths, right?
Mm-hmm.
If somebody said Aquaman was ridiculous and nobody can fight him, and I said, hold on, Jimmy, and I gave you all these reasons why Aquaman wins, how you stop him. And somebody said, I'll tell you what, Tom, I don't want to see you win. I don't care if you win. But play this guy's Aquaman. And it doesn't matter if you lose, but just demonstrate how it works, how your counters work. We don't care if you win. We know that's not your main. I mean, we know you play these other characters at a high level. We just want you to demonstrate. Even if you lose every game, just demonstrate, And if I say, nope, Aquaman mirror only, you would say, well, wait a minute. Are you saying that you know what I'm saying? I mean, and I feel like all the Scorpion players, all of them that defend him and have these 99 ways to beat him, if you say, I'll tell you what then, this guy will use Scorpion, you play your other characters, and we don't care if you win. We don't care if you get blanked. You know what I'm saying? We just want you, it's not about who's better. Just demonstrate how your methods work. Just show us so we can say, you see that? He is being somewhat effective. Even if he's not winning, these aren't his mains. But he's showing how it works in real competition. You see how he blew that up there? You see how we countered that there? Okay, we're learning. Instead, if you refuse to fight the character with anyone but the character, that means you don't know what to do either. So we have a bunch of Scorpion players who don't really know what to do about Scorpion, telling everybody else what to do about Scorpion, and then telling them, oh, by the way, you're not leveling up. You're not spending time in the lab against them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is that a fair statement? That's not fair.
Hey Tom, I want to add to what you were saying about we need proof. The Scorpions brain dead and busted at the Southeast Asia Major tournament this past weekend. There's a guy who was using Superman and Black Adam. He got sent to losers early in top 8. He switched to Scorpion, and he won every single match within 3 minutes. He lost in about 5 to 7 minutes with his mains. He switched to Scorpion, ran every set back down 2-0 because they were doing 3 out of 5, and he won in 3 minutes, and it was ridiculous, just by teleporting and jumping.
Who was that player?
It was, I don't know his name. It was at the Southeast Asia Major tournament in Singapore, and they were playing Injustice, and he just dominated with Scorpion, and it was really painful to watch.
Did he win?
Yeah, he won.
He won?
He lost with Superman and Black Adam. Every time he would lose with them, like go down around, he'd pick Scorpion. He never lost with Scorpion. One time he stuck. The only reason he got sent to losers is because he stuck with Black Adam or Superman. But then soon as he switched to Scorpion, he never lost a single round. Not a round. It was ridiculous.
Now, what do? Do you tell a bunch of people who've been playing them, well, too bad, you got to go learn a new character? This close to Evo? 2 weeks out from Evo or whatever it is? Yeah, 2 weeks.
The difference is this guy is actually admitting Scorpion's broken, unlike some people using him. It's like, deal with it, man. You know, this guy's like, no, this character's stupid. I shouldn't have won. But I just used him because I had to win. You know what I'm saying? He was very real about it. And I think more people need to get...
My next issue is that I read what everybody says. Believe it or not, I read what everyone says about everything. And basically, when I read about, Killer Frost, I hear her name being thrown around, I hear Batgirl being thrown around, I hear Aquaman being thrown around. And I read what these players are saying. Pick these characters, do this. When they say pick Aquaman, they don't really mean Aquaman particularly shuts him down. It just means Aquaman, should he get hit by a meter burn teleport, can just say, so what? I don't care. You can't vortex me. So I'll take the 20% damage, and who gives a shit? He can do that. Okay, fair enough. You're not saying Aquaman shuts him down. You're saying Aquaman can play at full speed, and if he gets hit, so what? You're not losing that much. Just keep going, Or water shield and move forward at the speed of sand, doing water shields all day. Whatever. And I don't buy into that either. When you say play Killer Frost, you're not saying Killer Frost. You're not saying I play Killer Frost and here's how I shut him down. You're saying I play Killer Frost and my strategy is my slide goes forward so it trades to the teleport, and if I hit him once, I keep him mixed up for eternity. Batgirl, you say if I hit him once, I vortex him, I keep him mixed up for eternity. You're not really giving anyone out there a clue on how to stop what he's doing that applies to the engine. You're just saying my character can hit him once, and then in theory keep him standing and guessing until he's dead. Well, that you're saying you can't stop him either. You're saying at least when I hit him, I keep him there. You're not really helping anybody. See what I'm saying? So everyone out there who has supposedly broken the character down has given everybody absolutely fucking nothing to go with, So that's ultimately the issue here. I think what people are saying.
But see, here's the thing. What I'm saying is I'm not discrediting the crying, because that's what it is, crying. I'm not discrediting the crying about the fact that he is. I'm just saying, now what if you find out, like with freaking Mortal Kombat 9, down, the down one anti-air crap. If that's all it takes. What if somebody hasn't stumbled across something, right away? I mean, unfortunately, like I said, it's a predicament where, is he overpowering? Yeah, he seems to be. But is there ways around it? I don't have those answers. You guys do. You guys are the guys that put the time in on this game. I told you.
I'm not saying there's not. But it's insulting to tell someone who has spent hours and hours and hours, you're lazy. You don't spend any hours. That's no way to hold a discussion. To call someone who spends hours every day trying to figure it out, lazy.
No,
Or you're only
I'm not gonna argue with you there. I mean, nobody should be calling anybody lazy, but the fact that it's escalated to this point is asinine, because not one of the people that are arguing points back and forth are the developer or have the ability to make that change themselves. So it's kind of like, this is what you got. Now, obviously in the patch they've changed some stuff around, but I don't know how much, I haven't touched the patch, so I can't sit there and say everything's all better. But, it's like, what are we arguing about? So you just ban this character now.
I mean, here's my final take on it, Jimmy, because I know you got listeners here and they hate listening to gameplay. They want to hear whose mother's sleeping with who, who's getting fucked in the ass by somebody else. These guys don't like gameplay.
Yeah.
I just figured it out why they say Tom's boring, because I talk about the game and they don't come to the On Blast show to listen to the game.
Well, Scorpion's been a big drama issue, so it's been pretty good right now.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, but my final take on this is this. Everybody has weighed in. There's no sense in weighing in every day. We weighed in. Everyone knows how people feel. We got the poll. 80% of the community want to ban. 20% say calm down.
But
okay.
Wait, let me ask you a question. Isn't Tusker irrelevant because Event Hub voted not to ban him?
Event Hubs.
I mean...
You mean the site that doesn't put us up there anymore?
No, that's because we're not on Twitch right now.
No, it's because...
No, it's because we're not on Twitch.
It's not.
Yes, it is. It is.
James, it is. I'm telling you.
If you're a fighting game stream, it automatically appears in their feed if you get a certain amount of viewers.
Yes, so, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. That's why we're not on there right now.
All right, well, fuck them.
So go ahead, Tom. 80%.
I'm reading Black Mamba's. Black Mamba saying do water shield stuff. When I do water shields on Rhea, he just jumps in and just jumps in and does whatever, and I just have to eat the damage. Now I could blow up the water shield for 8% and not come far away. So if I have a gabillion bars of meter, I can punish him with 8% every single time. That's not a viable strategy. You have a strategy that does not accurately defend against the jump in. And by the way, when Scorpion does jump in and hit you out of your water shield, even though you're getting hit while the shield is up and he keeps hitting you, you're not building any meter when you get hit during water shield. So you're getting hit and not building any meter at all. Do not take into consideration all possibilities. I do not want to hear the water shield argument. In any event, my point about Scorpion is this. Everyone's weighed in. At this point, let NetherRealm do their job. Let the TOs do their job. NetherRealm, after this patch, says he's fine. And the TOs hear everybody's argument, and they say he's fine. Everybody just keep on moving on, man. Just go forward. If you're gonna quit, then quit.
When's the $1 million tournament?
Yeah, it's somewhere in space, Jimmy.
Exactly. So everybody going fucking berserk for $1,000 tournaments. Need to relax. It's $1,000. I make that in 4 days working.
I mean, I'm just saying, man. Whatever the TO's decision ends up being, if NetherRealm says this is it, this is what you get, learn it, and the TOs say, you know what, I see no cost to ban him, then everyone just move forward. Injustice is my absolute favorite game ever made. I'm going to be dead honest with you. I absolutely love this game. And I would never stop playing it, no matter what character they put in it. But, I feel like we got to the point that the hotfix, the new patch is coming out. However Scorpion is in that patch, if NetherRealm says, hey, we say he's fine, then he's fine. If the TOs say he's fine, you made your case, you heard their decision. Now just
move on.
Don't talk about it anymore. Just leave it alone and go for it. You can keep your opinion. You can think he's BS personally. You can think whoever's beating you has no skill or is a scrub or doesn't know the fundamentals. Whatever you think, that's fine. No one's saying you have to change your opinion. Just don't make a freaking public spectacle about it anymore. Just it's exhausting reading this stuff, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just too much.
Well, I don't
It does
read
take
it.
a lot of time, dude. All the
So
damn
I stopped.
threads out
I
there.
stopped reading it.
It's too much, man. So just we've had it out there. Everybody keep quiet about it. Let the TOs make their decision. Look, they've seen the polls. You know, I mean, they obviously understand how everybody feels. You know, NetherRealm obviously understands how everybody feels. They're gonna do what they think is right. TOs are gonna do what they think is right. And you as players, you guys need to do the right thing. Be thankful that you were heard. This thing I'll say this is NetherRealm actually heard us out. The whole community, both sides. The TOs, Mr. Wizard could have said, go fuck yourself. He's legal. Kiss my ass. He put a poll on Test Your Might. You know, they were open.
He hasn't given a decision yet.
He hasn't given a decision yet. Jabali said.
It probably won't be until after CEO.
Jabali has said, you know what? If Evo bans him, I'll ban him. I mean, they actually are considering it.
No,
Basically
Jabali said yeah.
Scorpion is illegal, and he wants him. Even if Scorpion is brain dead and he dominates and wins, he wants that to be the deciding factor for his ban at Evo.
Okay, but the point is, these guys considered it. Bottom line, and Evo is considering it.
And Fiyah said he's currently banned right now until he's patched.
Well, and you know what? Hold on a second. Let me run a commercial quick, and let me bring in somebody.
Commercial?
Yeah. Yeah, I could run a commercial.
Anyway, Jimmy, I don't want to bore these guys
No. Hang out. Stick around. Hold on. Let me see.
People want to hear about this.
All right. Let's see.
Fly with us and get flown over. The boy Gilda. Yeah. Big Poppy or T-Swag. Hit after hit. I'm moving forward. You falling back. Killing with my words. They under attack. They under attack. They under attack. Killing with my words. They under attack.
All right, guys. VXG obviously coming around the corner. You know, if you can get down there, try to get down there. I was trying to get Rolando in to chime in because I know you know, he had some opinions on Scorpion. We lost Bill.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone. Well, before we change subjects, I just wanted to say I was worried that before we heard about these nerfs, that Scorpion would dominate top 8 at Evo, and then, you know, it's a big difference going from a regular major, like let's say 20,000 viewers, to 100,000 at the Super Bowl fighting games. And then you're going to have a lot of casual people from IGN and GameSpot and stuff. So 80,000 of those fans are going to be comic book fans, people that heard about it through the grapevine, just happen to be on these websites, and they're going to be like, why is a Mortal Kombat character dominating a comic book game? And it's going to look really bad to them. If they were considering buying it, and then they just see Scorpion teleporting all over the place, they're going to be very turned off by that. You see Scorpion, Black Adam, Superman, Killer Frost, and maybe Chris G's Green Arrow. In top 8, you're like, where are the other characters? Are they not good? And did Scorpion just kill them? Because you notice everybody except Scorpion, they get back up when they lose all their health. And they like, oh, I'm hurt. But when Scorpion beats you, you die. And you're motionless. And I just think that's a bad look for a guest character to be dominating in a DC game like that, especially to the casual audience.
But now consider this: has he dominated in tournament? He's won one.
Yes, one.
No, that was a local.
No, the Southeast Asia major.
Yeah.
We're talking about that one. We're counting that.
That's a regional.
It's a major.
That's a regional. Look, majors happen in the U.S. They don't happen outside the U.S.
That was stacked, dude. That was stacked. They do have that showdown. You're not calling that a major?
Yeah,
They
those
have,
are
like-
those are that's a major.
What, Shadowlaw? Shadowlaw's a major, but not this one you're talking about.
Dude, they had like 20 of the top Japanese players, but that's not the point. The point is, Scorpion blew up that tournament, and that guy should not have won. He got blown up with his mains by Ares and other people.
But you gotta remember, if you don't practice against playing Scorpion, of course you're gonna get blown up too.
Everybody gets blown up by Scorpion. It doesn't matter how much you practice.
I don't get blown up because I use him also.
That's
So I know how to use him.
proving the point.
I know. I learned how to use him to fight with his, deal with his bullshit.
Hey, James, turn up the volume.
I did already.
Okay. If you're using a regular DC character, you're gonna get blown up by Scorpion. The only people saying Scorpion is fine are the ones using Scorpion.
No. What I'm trying to say is I learned Scorpion in order to fight Scorpion.
With who? What character do you use?
I use Green Arrow. I use Aquaman. I use Green